Hi everybody, this is Wendy Lovejoy of the YellowLetterMentoring.com, and today we are bringing you the free live training. YellowLetterMentoring.com. Yay, Anthony, you made it front and center today. Appreciate you. Okay guys, I'm really excited about today. After this training, we're going to go live on Instagram. And we are definitely talking about the basics of real estate wholesaling. So I want to thank the guys that consistently join us on Periscope and the guys that join us on Facebook. We have a meetup. Hey. I wonder where I got it from, but I love the fact that our community on Meetup is growing. So the people that continue to join us and sign up on the Meetup, we have the RIA in Atlanta, we have the Real Estate Investing Long Island, Brooklyn, Long Island, and Anthony Williams of Real Estate is Power heads that, and I head the Real Estate Investing Academy in Atlanta. And I'm very excited because in the upcoming months, if you hang out till the end of this video I have, or this training, if you hang out until the end, some people watch it on replay, but if you watch the whole thing, I'm going to have an offer at the end. It's not something that you have to stay here to learn the training, or you have to buy to get the information. It's nothing like that. It's just something that people ask me all the time, and they ask Anthony Williams because he likes to fix and flip. That's what he mainly does, and I like to buy and hold. So people always ask, like, you know, how can I get more information with you guys? And so this will be an opportunity for you to do that. But if you've been following me for a while, again, my name is Wendy Lovejoy, and I have, okay guys, this thing is so far away, so if I don't really see everything that you're doing, market, interpreter, that network, hey, they're still good on market properties. Okay. Guys, every question that you ask me, I'm going to address it either in an email specifically to you if you send me an email, because I don't want to, and I want you to communicate with me with the questions that you have. I may address them through the trainings, but I'm not going to stop to address them on the training because I don't want to keep everybody here all night. There's still some very great deals on the market, but it also depends on who you know and if you follow a system. And we teach you a system that will go ahead and help you to figure out, you know, how to get good deals. And some of that training I actually share on this free platform. It's not like you have to buy a training to get some of the stuff that I teach you guys on here. But if you have not seen our trainings in the past, my name again is Wendy Lovejoy, and let me get a charger on this phone for a second. Hold on guys, because my battery looks like it's about to die, and I don't want that to happen because I believe I have some information that you're going to appreciate receiving. So as I was sharing before, the thing with real estate is that it's cyclical, but building your team and you know, following and being in a community, that's really going to help you quite a bit. And for those that are joining us for the first time, as I was saying before, the reason I think you should pay attention to some of the things that I am sharing is that I have been in the industry for about 28 years now. I raised my kids on real estate. My kids were in Pampers when I started real estate, and now I'm a grandmother. That tells you how long I've been in the industry. And when I started, I knew nothing whatsoever about real estate. So I share with you guys the things that changed my life, my mother's life, my children's life, and a few of my nieces, nephews, sisters, and brothers, and some other communities that really weren't connected to me. But I also invested a lot in the school my kids went to, which was Sacred Heart in the Queens area. Real estate gives you an opportunity to do so many things, whether you become a real estate investor or a real estate agent. I really think this is the best platform to make money. I've tried a few other platforms, had success in them, including multi-level marketing. And I would not say to people don't do multi-level marketing, but I will say to you, it was easy for me to have success in multi-level marketing because of the money I made in real estate. So I went into real estate about 28 years ago, maybe more now. But when I got into real estate, I had no money whatsoever. So I started from scratch. And when I went into multi-level marketing, I had hundreds of thousands of dollars. So becoming a top producer in that industry was not difficult. If you have been following me for a minute, you know that if you go over to the Yellow Letter Mentoring Facebook page and you like that page, we offer you a lot of stuff that can help you, including worksheets with dialogues, because I believe the thing that changed my life in real estate and understanding of it and building my security was having a good mentor, which was my broker at the time. And when I wanted to become a real estate investor, I found the best investor ever. He was the grandfather, the person that created everything, No Money Down. And he wrote a book called No Money Down, and it was Robert Allen. Now people call him Robert G. Allen. He doesn't even coach and mentor the things that he taught us, but he's still a coach. However, he teaches more like, mindset and inspirational stuff. So I just encourage you guys to not just look at real estate as something that you're going to do to make some money real quick, because the people that get into real estate and that's their mindset, they usually don't do as well because they're so focused on being hungry for the dollar that they don't take the time to study the industry. And again, if you've been following me, if you're my Facebook friend, if you follow me on Instagram at Wendy Lovejoy Trainings, then you know that I do a prayer call every Monday on Facebook. And one of the things that we know is that, even Jesus took time to study God, and he was God in the form of man on this earth. So it's just really important that you have to take time to study the industry that you say you want to make money in. A lot of people think that they can just look at a couple of YouTube videos and then they're going to do very, very well, But a couple of YouTube videos are going to maybe motivate you, but they won't take you from beginning to end. Because if you're not in a community where you're learning this information, it's going to be difficult. And I always suggest that you start with your why and really figure out why you chose real estate. Why do you choose any platform to make money? And what do you want to change in your life that you're not happy with at this moment? Because if you don't figure out your why, what's going to happen is, I really want you to get that transforming yourself, changing yourself from where you are to where you want to go. It's not easy. There's going to be bumps and detours along the road. There's going to be times you feel like, I've put out too much money, or I don't have any more money to put out. I've put out too much time. I can't put another minute into this thing. I thought I would have had a return by now. And so if you don't have a why, you won't keep going. I can write a book on the challenges I had in the very beginning. And in my 28 years, you still have challenges. They're not the same as before, but they're challenges. Every time you want to move from one level to the next, you get there in stages, and it depends on how much information you're willing to accept on the stage you're at, and what kind of mentorship you're willing to get to help pull you to the next level of your lifestyle. And so I want people to understand that real estate investing is a really great way to change your life. And there's so many different ways to get started. So we're talking about the basics here. But I really want you to understand that nothing worth having is really free. If you want a good family life, you got to invest in it. You got to put time and money. You got to invest in it. If you want a healthy body, you got to invest in it. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the money to buy the foods that are going to help you to eat and be better. Real estate is no different. If you believe this is a way to get rich quick, it's not. You may do a deal and luck out. Your first deal is great, but you won't be able to duplicate that if you really don't take the time to study the basics. You're gonna have to put in some sweat, blood, and tears for your business. You really have to do that. And most of the people that follow me know that I don't, lie to them and make them believe that this is easy. And whether you have $10 or $100,000, putting $100,000 into a training program and then not doing the work, it's just not going to get you rich. I feel like if you have lots of money, find somebody who's going to help you to buy a property and walk you through how to renovate that property, as opposed to buying all these programs I hear people invest in and then they never succeed. I get a lot of people that come to the Yellow Letter Mentoring because they went somewhere and invested $60,000. I'm like, if you had $60,000, you could have bought 2 properties. You could have bought more than that depending on what state you're in, but you did it backwards. So this is why I use this platform, not to just waste my time talking, but to share with you opportunities and a mindset that's going to change how you think, so that you could be open to the real concept of real estate investing. And one of the things you want to do is, when you become a real estate investor, one of the first things I had to do was remove all the noise around me. I had to really make a decision, because nobody in my family had done real estate. I am originally from South Africa, and in South Africa, you pay cash for your property, you buy land, you build it, and it's passed down for generations. And I never understood credit until I was here in America, and so I had to understand the concept of how to buy houses. Then I hear about this gentleman who's talking about you can buy houses with no money down, and I said, okay, let me learn more about that, because at the time he was speaking my language. I didn't have bad credit, I had no credit. I was used to paying cash for everything, and then I had no cash at that point. And so I had no cash and I had no credit. And he's talking about it doesn't matter whether you have cash or credit. I can help you own a home in 24 hours. And I said, I got to speak to this guy. I'm going to invest and pay whatever I have to be under his teaching. And he was doing a training for a week. And in that week, I ended up owning 10 properties. And so real estate investing is still doable today. There's still some amazing deals all over the United States. Now, you may be in New York and feel like, oh, it's too expensive for me. But there's some surrounding places you're not paying attention to. You may think Elmont or Valley Stream or Massapequa is too expensive, but there's some surrounding areas if you have the right team that can put you in, expose you to that. But I'm going to share some things today that's going to help you to see if you can find some properties in your neighborhood. You really want to dedicate time for your real estate investing. How much time can you put into your real estate investing? And you've got to block out the people that don't know anything about real estate. And to me, somebody who doesn't own real estate should not be telling you how to own real estate. And somebody who's never closed a deal should not be telling you how to close a deal. If you buy their opinion, you will end up with their lifestyle. So pay attention to the people you listen to, because they're definitely going to affect how your business ends up. And so this is another thing that I say all the time. Your why has got to be so strong that you will live You will die if you don't accomplish it. You got to figure out what it is in your life that's so important to you that you want to see it change. Is it your parents? Is it your children? Is it a spouse? Is it a community like homeless? Is it a church? What is it that is gonna make you feel like, if I don't get this done, I'll never be the same? Because if you're just doing this as a focus for your, I need to make $2,000 to pay my rent or to pay a car note, that's not going to move you, because if that's all it took, you would have done it already, because I'm sure you had the car note and the mortgage before you got on this call. And always you want to think about a bigger life. You always want to expose yourself to a bigger life. And so one of the things I suggest is always having a dream board, always having a vision board. I'm so excited because some things I put on my vision board have come to pass already, and the topic for the people that follow me, or the title for our month, for our 2019 was an epic 2019, and people are writing me and messaging me and telling me some amazing accomplishments that they're achieving that they never thought they would achieve, but because they keep going, they stay committed, they're seeing results. I always want to encourage you that when you are looking at this industry of real estate investing, wholesaling, you want to keep it as very simple as possible. Some people complicate it. Some people think it's so many things you got to do, but there's such basic things, and there's so many things you can do for free to learn your real estate business. You can do things for free. It's not that hard. Some of the things that you can do, which is one of my favorite things to do, you can drive into any neighborhoods. You can drive into any neighborhoods. And most people that start off as real estate wholesalers, they only look at places where there's abandoned properties, or they look at places where there's burnt out properties. Well, the thing is, you can drive for dollars in the bad neighborhoods, the abandoned property neighborhoods, the war areas. You can do that. But you can also drive for dollars in the better neighborhoods, the middle class income neighborhoods where people still have decent school districts and there's still a mom and dad and children in the neighborhood, or the neighborhood is pretty well kept up, but there's a few houses here and there that look like the families are struggling. And the way to recognize that is to look for houses where the grass is not kept up, or the mail is overflowing, or maybe you can look and see the car needs maintenance, or the property itself, you may see some shingles falling out, or the windows need repairs. You just see that it's kind of an eyesore in that neighborhood, or it just doesn't look like those people, or maybe that particular house has tenants, and sometimes tenants don't take care of the property as well. So don't just choose the bad neighborhoods, choose the better neighborhoods. But even more so, why not choose the best neighborhoods? Why not go to the over $500,000 neighborhoods, the $800,000 neighborhoods, the $1 million neighborhoods? And I'm going to share some stuff with you. The better neighborhoods are a good place to look at. And of course, you want to be dressed decently. You want to make sure your car is clean and neat. And I don't suggest having those we buy houses on your car when you drive out. So I like the peel off kind, so you can put them on your door when you want them there, and then you can take them off. Some people wrap their cars, and the thing with that is sometimes when people see you coming into their neighborhood, they just automatically feel like you're coming to steal their homes, you're coming to get their house for pennies on the dollar, so they automatically shut you out. But if you go in a clean, decent car and you wear some business casual, like I wouldn't carry this big Louis Vuitton or my Gucci watch or anything like that when I go into a really nice neighborhood. You want to dress down, very toned down earrings, not big pearls and pearl necklace, whether it's fake or not. You want to really dress down. And for men, be clean cut but dress down and look as professional, but you don't have to have a suit and tie because you want people to feel comfortable with you. And again, we're talking about the higher end neighborhoods right now. And so what you want to do is when you go into these neighborhoods, the reason you want to look a certain way is because in the higher price neighborhoods, it's usually older people, women who have been married forever and their husband passed away, or they have worked forever and now they're retired and their children have, moved to another state because they really don't want to live in that neighborhood, but it's still a good neighborhood and the house is too big and the older couple doesn't know what to do. Or one case, I had a young lady that had 4 homes in a gated community and she wanted to get rid of all 4 so she could move to the next level gated community, and she literally discounted those homes for over $200,000 a piece. So again, you don't have to start your business looking at all the burnout properties you can find. But when you go into these neighborhoods, you also have to learn to be more patient with the people. You don't go in and the lady, she's older and you're just telling her she has to sell right away. You want to build a relationship. And one of the gentlemen that I taught this program to, he went out and did exactly what we're sharing with you guys now. And he ended up purchasing a mansion in Water's Edge in Atlanta, Georgia, and he got this property for $60,000, and it's worth at least 10 times that. He got it for $60,000 just following the concepts that I'm sharing with you. And so, and some other things, because I do a little bit more detailed training when you are with me on, in a live training. But basically, it's some of the things I'm sharing with you tonight. And so one of the things that I want to share with you is you can follow this information on your own, or you can follow this information and use a real estate agent. I happened to go on MLS and I looked at what is the lowest priced houses on, and this was years ago and it's still doable. I've done this recently. I've had agents look on MLS for me as recently as a couple of months and find good deals. But this particular place was a property in Freeport, Long Island. The house was on the water. The lady, her husband had died. She was the only one in a 5-bedroom, 4.5-bath home. And she could not maintain the home. It was just her and her little puppy. And the reason nobody was buying this house is because the puppy had peed all over the house. So as soon as you opened the door, the smell of pee just was wrenching. But I saw beyond that, and that same house is now worth over $600,000, and it took less than $50,000 to get it into a place, because just ripping out the floors and replacing them made a big difference. And changing one of the bathrooms, modernizing one of the bathrooms, updating the cabinets in the kitchen made a huge difference, because this house was on the water. So you don't have to do all your wholesaling in the worst neighborhoods you can find. It just depends on how much money you're looking to make. As a real estate investor, the very basic thing you can do is find some really good properties. And if you don't know how to wholesale them, then just turn them over to a real estate investor and let them give you a flat fee. The more they make, the more you can ask them to pay you. The standard as a bird dog is like a few $100s to a couple of thousand. But then you can wholesale it yourself, which means you just simply put yourself in the contract. You get the property in contract, and then you find somebody that's going to take it off your hands. Let's say your contract is 30 days. Most people say, oh, I'm only going to give you 7 days. I tell or suggest to the people that I coach and mentor not to do 7 days unless you already have a team and financing in place, unless you have a huge buyer's list of investors that will buy properties from you every time you put properties out. If not, then I wouldn't do that. If you're just starting out, try to get a contract that's a little bit more time, and people will give you more time if you offer them just a little bit more than everybody else is offering them, and if you have built rapport with them. So I'm a strong believer in building rapport, understanding the person speaking and style, and are they an introvert or an extrovert? Are they a kinesthetic, auditory, or a visual type of a person? Because you got to speak to them in a language that they speak to you in, and it makes them feel more comfortable. So they will choose you over the other investors.